Greetings, everyone. Hey, how you doing? It's Matt Sella here. And today, we're going to be doing a special little TV show review episode of DuckTales. Woohoo! And I'm joined here with a very special friend of mine. It's Marc.
I'm back.
Hey, everybody. It's Marc. Say hi to Marc, folks.
Hi, Marc.
Hi, Marc. You and I, we've been watching DuckTales for quite some time now.
Since the premiere of at least this new series, the new iteration of the series, yeah.
Yeah, the reboot, and we've been enjoying it that we thought we'd continue it a little bit here on my own channel, and so I want Marc here to kind of give the synopsis of the episode we're talking about.
Yeah, well, today's episode is Season 2, Episode 7, Whatever Happened to Della Duck?
What did happen?
Our little brief summary here. Della struggles for survival against the dangerous elements of the moon as she looks for a way to get back to her family on Earth.
That's right. We're going to be talking just about that episode.
Just about that episode.
And to stay informed with everyone, this is technically a spoiler talk episode.
Naturally.
Luckily, I believe you can watch the episode on Disney XD or on their website.
Oh, yeah, the show is readily available.
It's readily available, and we're just going to give our general impressions of it. So to start things off, I'm really happy that the show has returned.
Yeah, this is our first episode since last Christmas.
Yeah, it's been like 2-3 months.
Yeah, just about, really. Well, yeah, 3 months probably.
And what's really interesting about this episode is that we don't even get the traditional opening. We just get a title drop, and we're just straight up sticking around with Della to see what she's been doing over the last 10 years.
It's a very cold opening, and I really like that. I think it really set the tone.
It did.
Right off the bat, especially after the whole seeing the... Like, I was sitting there just joking to myself, just going, man, there's this crazy, space storm. There's this crash and everything. I was just be like, and cue catchy theme song.
Yeah.
And I love the theme song, but it would have been very jarring.
It would have. And I didn't expect to see how dark this episode would have started out with. I mean, we already went like with the Franco 48 hours late movie.
Yeah, I forget the name of the movie myself, but yeah. Spoiler alert, Della now has a robotic leg. It's pretty cool. And you and I were sitting there. I think we were both thinking, we're just like, there's no way they're going to. Oh, God, they did.
They went there.
She chopped off her foot.
Luckily, we didn't see her do that, but it's obviously implied.
Oh, yeah. No, the leg just got up and walked away.
Walked away with those damn mites.
Those dang mites.
So, yeah, no, I really enjoyed the episode. You mentioned that it had the NES moon theme that everyone loves.
A few times, and even get some, not to spoil the review a little ahead, get some lyrics.
Yeah.
So it's actually, weirdly in the continuity of this version of DuckTales, which I think is a lot of fun for old fans. And actually for me, really, the music itself on a whole was a standout in this episode. I think I found myself paying attention to it more, even, with everything even without the moon theme. I thought there's this point where Della is, in some high action and stuff. And it really almost had a Indiana Jones, maybe Star Wars-y, a John Williams quality to it.
It definitely did. It had that cinematic feel to it, which is probably why I really like this episode. Mm-hmm. And we definitely get a taste of the struggles that Della has been going through just to try to survive and to return home, as well as some running gags with that licorice gum.
Which is actually from the remastered version of the DuckTales video game. Yeah, because that's how they do in the remastered version that was on PS3, I believe. That's how Gyro made that gum to pretty much explain why and how Scrooge is bouncing around on the moon level in the game. So, we're tying it all back in several ways today.
And it's funny, too, that Gyro gum also gives you nutrients and shit. So
it explained a lot.
That could solve world hunger, that right there.
It probably was. Scrooge probably wasn't willing to. It was probably too expensive to make, and Scrooge wasn't going to shell it out.
Probably. But yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was again, solid episode. Really liked it. I'm hoping that we'll get more Scrooge and the nephews in the next episode for sure.
But I wouldn't mind more of these little every now and again, maybe even midway through each season, depending how long the series goes. Just, the ongoing chronicles of Della while she's been away. I think that's a very interesting story angle to take. I'm glad they didn't just, she's on the moon, deal with it.
Yeah.
We're actually having a little story there. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, she's going to have her own arc, her own story of how she's going to get back if she ever does.
And I'm excited for that.
And it introduces some elements. I remember a long while ago, we were talking about how, like, after the Magica lady.
Magica Dispel, yeah.
After we had her in the season finale, like, what are you going to top that off with? Just Della coming back? What are you going to do? And the episode ends with those moon people.
Yes. The moon people, which...
What were they called?
They're called moon people. Although they don't prefer. That's not it's not politically correct to call them moon people because to them the moon's a planet.
Moonyites.
The moon is. I think they actually did call them. No, that might just be me thinking of moon mites, which is the monster.
Yeah, that's
of this
the monster.
episode. There's General Lunaris and Lieutenant Penumbra.
Yeah, that was it. And unfortunately, we saw it on DVR and it kind of cut off at the end.
Yeah, just at the last minute.
But I guess we looked up the synopsis and they kind of hint at like alternative motives.
There's going to be a continuing. There's a carrot for that continuing plot thread. Della's not out of the woods yet.
No, she's not.
Which makes sense because where the episode ends, at least for us, where it ended with the cutoff, you kind of sit there if you go, wow, how did she get from where we see her at this point to where we saw her at the end of the Magica arc? Because we still haven't gotten to that point yet. Yeah, Della.
Yeah, because that was crossing my mind because I remember at the end of the Magica episode, we cut to the moon and Della was there, and I was like,
and she seemed to have made much more progress than where we had left her ship at the end of this episode.
Yeah, so we shall see. I mean, we might get a couple episodes with just her. We don't know, and we shall see. But Mark, did you have any impressions or general thoughts on the episode yourself?
I liked the moon mite. It was it wasn't an over the top alien design, but I think it worked, especially once we do have to, again, spoiler alert, but you know that.
Yeah.
Make it a sympathetic creature. I think it worked kind of well, and I liked its little baby. I did like that. Yeah, for those of you who are a fan of the moon theme in DuckTales, and I know it has legions of fans. It's one of the pieces of video game music people always, it's always on someone's top 10. You can't escape it. Della, as a nursery, as a song that she sang to the boys when they were eggs, that is to the theme of it. And the remix in this episode, like we said, talking about the music, it's a really good remix. And, I think this was a very cinematic episode, like you said.
Yeah. And speaking of which, I found it funny that the moon mite monster, its baby, it had a butt for him.
Oh, yeah. It had a little chubby little baby
and
cheeks.
It also had like pug style eyes where it was like all like droopy, sad look.
Oh yeah, they really, someone had a lot of fun just making that little guy.
That was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, no, to conclude, at least for me, I'm not too familiar with the moon theme itself. I've seen many YouTubers and musicians do covers of it. It was kind of funny when Della had to like calm down the baby moon mite and she started singing, and to me I was like, this is straight up Disney music right here. This sounds like an actual legit musical from Disney.
Well, spoiler alert, Matt. It is from Disney.
Holy shit.
I didn't want to drop that on you until we were at least, a season and a half in.
Holy shit.
But DuckTales is a Disney property. And so is Donald Duck. I know that's a stretch for you.
Oh, wow.
They didn't even have to buy Donald.
I thought he was from Warner Brothers. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Oh, but yeah, no, I appreciate the overall tone of this show, the episode. Man, I thought it was really good. Got me excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, I was really surprised that, an episode that had nothing to do with our main cast really wound up being a pretty high-ranked episode, I think, for the series as a whole for me. I think it was a very well-done diversion from the main plot.
Yeah. And if I haven't mentioned before, I think the only real detriment I could think of right now is I do think it's a little cliche to have the moon mite actually be a mom trying to feed its young.
Yeah, I kind of called that the second the episode started.
It was a bit predictable, but it makes sense in context of the story. So it's not like a big thumbs down for me in that regard. Just, I feel like they could have done something a little bit different.
Yeah. And I can't, an alien city of gold, which is spoiler alert, where Della ends up with the moon people.
Yeah, I think
I can't. It's escaping me as to whether or not that is something that it was in the Carl Barks comics, but it certainly seems like something that would be in the old DuckTales comics. I don't know if that is a thing or not.
Heck, it could be like a reinterpretation of El Dorado in this universe.
It's on the moon.
You never know. You never know.
That's why we never found it, folks.
So, Mark, do you have any closing thoughts that you want to give to our good viewers about this episode?
It's been a long time since we've had DuckTales, since we've been able to sit down and just relax and talk DuckTales on a Saturday. And you know what? I'm glad to have it back. I don't know. They kind of just announced this episode. I don't know if we're going to get any more episodes right off the bat or what, but I'm back and I'm ready for more.
I am too, dude. I am too. Well, I want to thank you all for joining us on this podcast TV reviews. I want to thank Mark for coming here to help me out with this.
You're welcome.
And again, I am Matt Sella. Be sure to consider subscribing to this channel for more reviews just like this. I have a monthly podcast that I like to just talk about random things I may have a guest like Marc or maybe some other people. Or it might just be me talking about what's going on in movies, TV shows, and video games. And if you like stuff just like this, please consider going to my Patreon at patreon.com/Matt Sella. If you could donate as low as $1 a month, I'd greatly appreciate it. It'll help me stay inspired, keep working on content for you guys. And I do art and animation, so be sure to visit my Patreon to see some of my latest work.
Yeah, you're gonna have got some big projects in the pipe.
I do. I'm actually really close to being done with an animation that I'm really excited to share with everyone. So, but time will tell. I'm very close. Gotta be patient. Take it nice and slow. Baby steps. Don't overstep yourself.
No, yeah, art is a process.
It is a process. Take it by the horns, but be steady. All right, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in.